We're here in Boston with James Pearce. How's the trip gone?
Yeah, it's been great so far. It's game day in Boston. Preparations building up for tonight's opening tour game against Roma at Fenway Park. I know Liverpool have thoroughly enjoyed their stay in this city so far. Training's been great at Harvard, state-of-the-art facilities, and from being around the team hotel and the interview opportunities we've had, there's a real buzz amongst the squad. I think the new boys that Brendan Rodgers spoke about at the press conference yesterday have really gelled in quickly. There seems to be a good camaraderie in the group. It was good to see Emre Can back training after the knock that he'd taken on his debut at Preston last weekend, and everyone's in good spirits. There was a decent open training session at Fenway Park last night. The ground looks absolutely fantastic, and now the countdown's on to tonight's match at the iconic home of the Boston Red Sox.
And that match is, of course, against Roma. How much do you reckon Liverpool are prepared for this?
Yeah, I think it'll be similar to what we've seen in the first two friendlies against Bromby and Preston. In that, I think Brendan Rodgers will use a lot of players. I think it's 30 odd degrees here today. It's still going to be very hot pitch side this evening. So I'd be surprised if anyone played more than 45 minutes, maybe an hour for some. Certainly the England players who only linked up with the squad in Boston this week, if they feature at all, it'll be small cameos, I should imagine. They're at an early stage in their pre-season preparations, but it's going to be a good run out and a great test for a lot of these young players. Brendan Rodgers spoke at the press conference yesterday about how much he'd been impressed with Jordan Ibe and Christopher Pettersson, who's scored in both games so far. And for those two, to play in front of, I think, expected to be around about 35,000 at Fenway Park, for them to get that experience is going to be a great part of the next step in their development.
And obviously Boston itself was alive last night. A lot of fans enjoying talking about the Reds.
Yeah, it was, and there was. We went to a great fan event just across the road from Fenway Park, where Ian Rush and Robbie Fowler were the guests, and there's some great stories. People have travelled from all across America to get to this game. It means a lot to people that usually have to settle for watching the Reds. Some godly hour on their TV. To actually have them in this city, means a lot to them. And there's a big Italian community as well in Boston, and there'll be a great atmosphere at the game tonight. And it's just Liverpool had a fantastic time here 2 years ago, and you can sense they're really enjoying being back in Boston once again. And
inevitably at the press conference, questions about transfers came up. Brendan Rodgers mentioned Barini, and also said there was no imminent deals, but has that changed?
Yeah, I mean, Brendan did the flat-batted back the questions about transfers, but we know Loic Remy's in Boston. He's here. He linked up with the squad yesterday, flew in with his wife, and he's having a medical. I think the medical will take slightly longer than the medicals usually take if this was back in Liverpool, just because the obviously used facilities over here and sort everything out. So I think it'll probably be Friday before we get an official confirmation on that deal. But we know that it's only the formalities to be carried out now. Loic Remy will become a Liverpool player in about a move worth about £8.5 million from QPR. And we're expecting Divock Origi as well, the Belgian striker from Lille. I think he'll be flying out to Boston in the next 24 to 48 hours to have his medical. Although of course he will then return to France to spend the coming season on loan at Lille. But there's other deals in the pipeline. Brendan Rodgers said after the Bromby game last week that he hadn't even started dipping into the Luis Suarez cash. So that gives you some indication of the fact that Liverpool are far from finished in the transfer market this summer.